Hey guys, I'm Eliott Janz. So I saw this video of Isaiah reacting to Lecrae's talk that he had. And now this is not a hit on Isaiah. This is not a ripping on Isaiah video because I truly love a lot of his videos. I think he's doing an amazing job. He's reaching an amazing amount of people. I mean, I cannot discredit his work whatsoever.
I wasn't even going to say nothing about this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I've been to a couple Diddy parties.
Jesus, I say this all the time, didn't party with sinners, he ate with sinners.
To be honest, there's a mix of work, because this is oftentimes where you go to connect with people.
Everything anti-God. Literally, sin is your entertainment.
Around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here.
I remember when I was unsaved, I used to party with a youth pastor from my city, and I thought Christianity was a joke. How was the youth pastor here at the party with us? Why would I want what you have?
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. Very different viewpoint than me. But like I said, I'm not going to discredit Isaiah. I think he does an amazing job. This is just a totally different viewpoint, at least from me as a Christian musician. So, here we go.
Okay, I'm reacting to a clip you guys keep sending me of Lecrae talking about what happens at Hollywood parties. This is...
And I'm reacting to both.
Not for, I would say, 18 and under. So if you're a young person, goodbye. It's time to go clean your room. This is not for young people. I didn't watch this whole clip, but I'm guessing he's going to talk about things that are probably not appropriate for kids. But I do want to react to this video. Guys, make sure you check out my live tab on my channel, because that's where my hundreds of hours of Bible teaching and preaching is. These are reaction videos to get people to the live videos, which are Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at noon. Put it this way, I stream Bible preaching and teaching for 5 hours a week, and I do these videos for 20 minutes a week. So 95% of my content is Bible teaching and preaching. Go to the live tab to see that. If you've been missing out on that, you're missing what my whole channel is about. My whole channel is about spreading the gospel and equipping the saints to live a supernatural lifestyle. With that being said...
And it's true. Definitely check out his other videos. They are amazing. He puts a lot of work into them. And he brings up a lot of very, very good points. So, yes, definitely do check out his stuff. Because I truly love how he's reaching our generation. So definitely check it out. I highly, highly recommend it. But I'm just reacting to just this reaction.
Let's jump into Lecrae talking about what happens at Hollywood parties. I'll give you my honest reaction.
I wasn't even going to say nothing about this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it.
That's a way to start. Wasn't going to say nothing about this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'll link his full video in the description. And also, let me remind you guys, this is a reaction video. So I'm going to be pausing it and giving you my commentary. If you don't want to hear me pausing, telling you what I'm thinking or feeling, then go watch his original video without me on it. Do not comment, why are you pausing it and talking? That's what a reaction video is, just so you know.
Okay, I got to admit, he does pause it a lot. So... it's going to be really hard to insert myself in here, so I'm going to do my best.
I've been to a couple Diddy parties. Now, I'm risking a lot by saying this because I know as soon as I say that, all the assumptions are going to come in and if I don't say evil things were taking place, then I'm covering for them. And if I do say evil things were taking place, then I'm one of them ones like, yeah, Lecrae, expose it. You know what I'm saying? And I've been to lots of parties. I've been to Jamie Foxx. I've been with...
What do y'all think about this? I'm curious. Should Christians be at parties, secular Hollywood parties? Here,
I'm going to pause it right there. This is my viewpoint. Not everything in life has to be a Christian party. It just doesn't exist. That's not the world we live in, unfortunately. But I think you can attend these parties as long as you're not partaking in the evil and the diabolical things that happen. And you'll see later in the video of how Lecrae reacts to a lot of this. And I think he reacts to it very, very well. And understanding the industry, there's times you get into these parties and you really don't even know what to expect. You really don't. I've been to a handful of them. out in the Los Angeles area, and you really, truly don't know what to expect. So, I mean, yeah, so.
Here's the thing. In my opinion,
In his opinion.
Jesus, I say this all the time, didn't party with sinners. He ate with sinners. It's one thing to go out to eat with someone in the celebrity world and talk to them about God. In my opinion, it's another thing to go to their parties. What business does a Christian have being at a secular party, especially a Hollywood party? That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Just my thoughts on it. But let's hear this.
T.I., like, I've been to lots of places. Here's what I'll say.
He's using his words carefully. He's like, I do not want to get canceled talking about this.
There are
And it's true. He does have to use his words carefully.
people who will test you. There are people who will see how far your limits are. And if you're willing to take a step, then they'll take two. I, in my personal experience, never saw anything where someone was like, you can't move any further unless you do X, Y, or Z. But what I did see was, if you do X, Y, or Z, well, keep coming, because and that's how we all are. It's all.
So he's saying basically he didn't see where it was like, you got to sign this demonic contract or go do this dark thing, some humiliation ritual to go to the next level. That definitely does happen. We've heard stories and stories and stories. I know people personally.
And that is true. I mean, that definitely does happen. So I do agree with Isaiah here.
That are in Hollywood that have dealt with it, that have been offered things. But I think maybe to where he was at in his world, no one was offering him that, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I think it definitely does happen.
Right? He says, blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, who does not stand in the way of sinners, who does not sit in the seat of mockers. You start walking, they gonna walk with you, and now you find yourself standing. They like, oh.
Here's the thing I would say about that. If you're really walking that walk and going hard for God, sinners are not going to want to be around you. They're not going to want to go after and hang out with you. And a lot of people get radically saved and they're like, my friends don't want to hang out with me anymore. Yeah, that's because you're going this way, they're going that way.
I'm going to stop it right there. It's with the music world, everyone believes in something different. Some people believe in Jesus. Some people believe in other religions, denominations. Not absolutely everything in the music world has to be Christian related. It'd be nice, but it's just not the reality of the world we live in.
So I can't imagine, being super radical for God in this industry and a bunch of people wanting to be your friend and connect with you.
It's because of talent, it's music. We look for talent, we judge someone on their abilities of how they sing or their instrument. We don't judge what their beliefs are or, what they believe in general. All we care about is talent. And Lecrae is obviously a very talented artist. So we're kind of comparing apples to oranges here.
Stand? Well, if you stand, come sit. Now, next thing you know, you're sitting. And so it was never a situation where I felt forced to sit. It was a situations where I was asked, do you stand? Do you stand? And I'm like, I don't stand. Oh, okay, cool. And then I was left alone.
There we go. So, Lecrae's not being forced into any of this. And Lecrae is not partaking in anything beyond of just networking in the music industry. We do it all the time. It doesn't have to be networking always at a church or, there's times you got to go to places where there's people in the industry that you got to create these connections with. Unfortunately, it happens to be, one of Diddy's parties or something like that. But it's just how it works.
It's like, oh, he's not about that life. He's not with it. I'm leaving him alone. And this is what I'll say, and I won't say whose party I was at or what party, but this is a crazy situation, right? I was at one of these parties, and
I'm not trying to be rude, but as a man of God, why put yourself in a position where you're at a party where drugs, sex?
Because Isaiah, it's the music industry. It's an industry you haven't grown up in or really have been a part of. You don't understand the music industry. And I'm not trying to rip on you, but it's apparent in this video.
Everything anti-God. Literally, sin is your entertainment.
I disagree. He's not partaking in the sin. He is there mainly for business, to make connections, and leaves.
Think about that. Sin is the entertainment at a party. The thing that Christ died for on the cross as, he was beat, bruised, and whipped for, that's what entertains people at a party. And I used to party all the time before I was saved. I was a party guy. I was drinking almost every day, even during the week.
And I was a chronic alcoholic. I drank to a .40 almost daily. Now I have 6 years sober.
What business does a Christian have there? Well,
because it's based on talent. It's talent related. It's not religion related, belief related, or denomination related. It's based on music and talent.
bring light there. Yeah, but you could say that about anything and anywhere. I get it, but are you bringing light there? Most people that say they're bringing light aren't bringing anything. They're not bringing anything but maybe a water because everyone else is drinking. They don't want to drink. So if we're really saying, and a Christian really at a party, we should be bringing light, we should be ministering, we should be sharing our faith with people, if that's why we say we're there. But just being there and hanging out against the wall and being a part of it as a Christian is not beneficial to anybody.
I disagree. If more people showed up at parties like this, like Lecrae does, I could be wrong, but I think we would see a decline on the sinister stuff going on if more people showed up like Lecrae. So I give Lecrae a ton of credit for going to these parties and to be able to still walk that fine line and not partake in the sinister stuff and the drugs and all that. You know, so I give Lecrae a lot of credit.
Me, I'll be honest, there's a mix of work, because this is oftentimes where you go to connect with people, where you go to meet people. And I have met people here and I have built bonds, and they have said, I have met actors and celebrities who said, man, thank you for being here. I needed your presence here. You're the reason why I know God is walking with me. And
I'm going to pause right there because I know Isaiah is going to say something right here. I love that he says that, because it just shows that Christians can be in the midst of evil and in the midst of this kind of stuff and not be tempted. So it shows a lot of who he is and his character. You know, I think Lecrae is doing amazing.
had conversations since.
Yeah, but why? I'm not trying to be critical, but why do you
Sorry, Isaiah, you're being a little critical.
want a celebrity telling you you're the reason why I know God is walking with me? I would be like, honestly, the way you're living, I don't think God is walking with you. If you're the celebrity in Hollywood, unsaved at a party, it's likely God is not walking with you. So why would my presence validate that for you? And I'm not trying to be petty, rude. I don't dislike Lecrae. I just think.
And side note again, I don't dislike Isaiah. I love his stuff. I just disagree with him on this video.
Like, why do I want a celebrity telling me they should, like, anyways, why would I want them telling me, yeah, you're the reason why I know God is walking with me? I would have told the celebrity, like, honestly, the way you're living, God probably isn't.
That's where they're like, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because how you going to be a light if you never in the dark? Now, if you cannot handle being in the dark, stay up out of certain places.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that for sure. Some people can't handle being in these environments.
Don't play tug of war by yourself. I never went to these events by myself. I was always with people who were walking in the light, and we always had a mission. It was never just to go in there and wild out and be stupid. But the other side of the coin is, yes, if I'm a human, so I'm frail. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was moments for me of like, oh my gosh, I'm here. I'm part of the crew. Like, look at me. Yes, I
He's
struggle
definitely being vulnerable, talking about, the struggles
with
he has.
acceptance and wanting to be associated with greatness. And I got caught up in some of that nonsense.
See, I have a problem with that. He wants to be associated with greatness. How are they great?
They're great based on talent. Like I said, this is not a denominational party. This is not a Christian party. It's not a religious party. This is basically a talent party where other artists in many different areas are getting together. Come on.
How are wicked, sinful people that are partying in Hollywood producing albums about drugs and killing and abusing women? How?
Okay, look, not all albums are like that. I mean, come on. I mean, yes, some are, but not all albums are. Let's be real.
Are they great? I really, guys, have a problem with Christian artists, whether you're hip hop, whether you're country, I don't care what you're in, looking up to secular celebrities and secular, let me know in the comments right now if I'm wrong, but we look up to these musicians saying, look at this great album that like Michael Jackson had or whatever, whoever it is. Look at Lil Wayne, P. Diddy, this great album they had. Christian artists say that. How?
Yeah, and I will be one of those Christian artists that say that. Because, again, this is based on talent. It is based on music. Not religion, denomination, faith, none of that. As an artist, you appreciate other people's work. I can't listen to Christian music 24/7. Same as how I can't listen to rock 24/7. I can't listen to classical or jazz 24/7. If I did, I'd go stir crazy. I just would.
How is their album great?
Talent, buddy. They're talented artists.
How is their talent great? They're using it for darkness.
They're not all using it for darkness, bud.
There's nothing great in God's eyes about that. I struggle when Christians say, I'm not just pointing Lecrae out here, I struggle when Christians say the secular artist or actor has greatness and is great. Because I don't see that biblically if somebody...
Yeah, from a biblical standpoint, I mean, yes, he is correct. But as in greatness, it is when it comes down to talent and that person's ability in that artist field. I think Isaiah's going a little off on this one.
Sinful and a sinner and wicked, how is that considered great in the eyes of God?
It's not every song has to be a Christian song. Not every song has to be how Isaiah sees it. There's this saying, there's times some people get so spiritually minded, they're no earthly good. And I'm really worried that Isaiah might be getting to that point. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But this seems a little extreme.
All that matters is what God thinks. And what is success to God? It's reaching people. It's being a good husband. It's being a good father. It's working with your hands. It's living a peaceful life. It's living holy. It's showing up to church. It's fasting. It's prayer. It's not being a celebrity or an artist in Hollywood. They have no value in the God's kingdom.
Nonsense internally, right? But you would have never known that. What I will say is that one particular party, lots of big names, there was an artist there who said, hey, Lecrae, around 1 a.m., make sure you're not here. And I was like, what?
Why even be at a party like that, though? If secular...
Okay. Lecrae kind of already answered this question. To make connections, to build relationships with people in the industry who are also talented.
People are saying, you probably shouldn't be here. At 1 a.m., you shouldn't be here. You probably shouldn't be at that party at all. If a secular person could recognize, an unsaved person could recognize, yeah, bro, you probably shouldn't even be here. What are you doing here? Here's the thing. I'm not trying to rail on Lecrae here. It'd be rude. This is the first time I'm seeing this clip.
He's kind of railing on him.
If I am a secular person seeing a Christian at the party with me, I'm thinking, why would I want what they have? They're here with me partying. Now, he's not partying. He's saying, I'm not there partying, but it looks like it to them. I remember when I was unsaved, I used to party with a youth pastor from my city, and I thought Christianity was a joke. How is the youth pastor here at the party with us? Why would I want what you have? I genuinely used to think that. I was an atheist, cussing at God. Why would I want what this dude has? He's out here partying with me. And you know what's crazy? When I got saved, he was the guy telling me to calm down. He was the guy telling me to settle down. So,
And if you've seen some of Isaiah's stuff, there's times he could settle down just a little bit. But then again, that's Isaiah. And like I said, I got nothing against him. He's doing an amazing job. He has a very successful YouTube channel. I mean, he's doing great work. I can't deny that. You know, he's doing very good stuff.
if a secular person says at 1 a.m. you shouldn't be here, you probably just shouldn't be there at 8 p.m. either.
Just
Depending on the party. Because half the time you don't even know who's all going to be there or what it's all going to be about. But usually the more sinister stuff happens later. So people like, you know, Lecrae and even Denzel Washington, they leave at certain times so that way they're not a part of that kind of stuff.
And I'm not trying to rail on Lecrae. Again, you're like, you must not like Lecrae. No, not at all. That's not it. I like Lecrae. I have nothing against him. I just don't understand this mentality.
And I got nothing against Isaiah. I'm just reacting to this as a Christian, sober musician. And that's it. I like both these guys. I truly do. I've watched and listened to both of them on numerous occasions.
In the morning. And I was like, now my pride kicked in like, yo, you don't know me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can handle myself. Like, I'm not some little church boy who ain't never seen nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you talking about? Well, it's probably 12:30. I'm downstairs. I go downstairs to the studio. I come up out the studio. And I'm headed back upstairs to like the main area where everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out. And the music changed. It was like really hard and heavy at first. And then,
okay, so he didn't listen to the guy that said you shouldn't be here. He stayed. What you get?
I mean, let's face it. It's a human flaw. There's times we are curious. I mean, if I was in, Lecrae's shoes, I would have been curious at first. Like, okay, what happens after one?
And it's like, I don't understand it.
Like,
I don't understand it.
Jam and dancing music. It was a little softer. You know, it was a little more sensual when I came out the studio and started going upstairs. And on my way upstairs, there's like this couch. I won't say how the couch is designed because then that may give away whose party and whose house this was. There was a couch, and on the couch, I saw a couple of guys really going at it hard and heavy.
Disgusting.
And
this is what's happening at these parties. These are what the people are doing that you guys are like, oh, these great celebrities, let's buy their album. These are the people that are voting in demonic leaders, demonic presidents, and the ones that are standing for this alphabet community agenda. And this is what they do at parties. It's despicable.
We can't categorize them all in the same category. Let's be real. We can't. Is that stuff going on? Yes. But you can't say all, like, here we go, this is it, and put them all in the same category. I just don't feel that's right.
Man, wicked. And I was like, oh, my brain, I'm thinking, well, this celebrity party, people do what they do. As I started moving upstairs, I passed them up, and I noticed that it wasn't just those two guys. It was more and more people just going at it. I was like, okay. It's time for me to roll. I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to get up out of here. I did not know that's how this went down. So was that shocking? Absolutely. Was I forced or coerced into anything? I was not. But
why put yourself in that environment?
He didn't know at first. He already said that.
Why they felt that comfortable? I don't know. Maybe the invite list, they was like, yeah, all these people. I don't know.
See, again, why they felt that comfortable is because you're not taking a stand. They feel comfortable. Like, ask yourself this, not Lecrae, but you guys watching, why are people so comfortable sitting around you? Is there that conviction in your life, that holiness in your life where people should feel convicted around you? Like, oh, I don't want to cuss around with Isaiah. I don't want to cuss around so-and-so. I felt convicted. He's not carrying that around, especially at these parties where people don't feel bad about doing these things. So that, to me, that's just like, yeah, I don't understand it.
I'm shocked that it went down. But I've been to another situation, another person's party, celebrity party. And
Again, how do you find yourself in this situation again?
Lecrae has answered this more than once. I'm not even going to repeat myself.
Why are you at these parties?
you know, a celebrity tapped me on my shoulder and I was hanging out with them and they was like, yo, nephew, you might want to go into the other party because this cabana, we about to close it up. And they closed up the cabana and there was about 3 or 4 big name artists in there. And a whole bunch of ladies start walking in that cabana and a security guard stood in front of the door. Hey, they didn't coerce me. They didn't ask me to come in. And everybody said, you probably should not be in this cabana. You probably just want to go up.
The second time secular people are saying you shouldn't be here. And some of you guys are at parties and your friends are like, why are you here? You probably shouldn't be
back out there with the cocktails and the hanging out and the hobnobbing. And shout out to my guy, Brandon T. Jackson, man. Brandon T. Jackson, you know, I don't know what he's up to these days, but at this particular party, Brandon T. came up to me and he said, yo, man, like Satan will steal your soul in this industry, bro. And he was really like, I loved the fact that he felt like, he's like, I love your soul and your spirit and I want you to thrive, Cray. I don't want you to get devoured out here. And I just appreciated that because for him, he was like, he has seen some detriments and some of the dark side of things. And he was like, yo, I want you to be taken care of. So I say all that to say, like, I never felt like it was some secret occult or secret like thing. I felt like there were areas.
And there definitely is, that is going on. The secret occult stuff, he probably wasn't exposed to it, but 1000% it's going on. I have a friend recently that came out of that whole world and got all these offers and was high up in Hollywood and one of the top people on YouTube. And yeah, that for sure, demonic stuff is going on. I've heard from multiple people that I know that came out of that world that were big celebrities, 10 million plus subscribers on YouTube. And they attest that demonic stuff is definitely going on.
At certain places that were like, hey, this could be the cocaine room. I don't know. This could be the boom boom room. I don't know. But I never ventured into those places. That wasn't my thing. And when I felt like something was moving to a level past where my witness or my like conscience would be messed with, I'm out of there.
Yeah, I think your witnesses though messed with when you're at these parties.
It's not for me.
That goes for everybody, not just Lecrae.
But somebody got to be in these places and spaces, right? Like somebody got to be there, to.
And honestly, it's better to have someone like Lecrae there than, more of the general people at these parties.
Be, in these environments. Now, I'm not saying somebody got to be at
Yeah, but why though? Why do they need to be there? To do what? What are you there for? Are you there to get connections, to network, to be cool, to post it on Instagram, to get a new deal, to help people, get record deal? Or are you there to spread the gospel? 116, which is his company. I'm unashamed. It's the power of God unto salvation. Am I there to bring light?
It's not the kind of place where you would spread the gospel or something like that. I live by the way of, I don't speak about it because I don't want to cram it down anyone's throat. But if they have a question, I'll gladly take my time to answer that. Or if they ask me about my life journey and how I got here, then I will absolutely, share. But I'm not going to just show up to some random party and start preaching. Let's be real. That's just, yeah.
Is there testimonies of me sharing my faith? Is it fruitful? Are people getting saved, healed, delivered at these parties because I'm praying for them, I'm evangelizing? Probably not, or they wouldn't have kept inviting him. He's getting invited because people have no problem with his lifestyle. People should have a problem with our lifestyle. They should be like, I don't want to party around you. You're trying to pray for people and witness to people?
But in the way they're not. They're saying, hey, leave it around this time. You probably don't want to go to this area or that area. So Lecrae is, he's walking a fine line, and I give him credit for that.
So, and again, I'm not trying to be this stickler and, being negative about Lecrae. And guys, in the comments, let me know if I'm crazy or not. I think
he's a little crazy on this one, but that's just me.
There's no business a Christian has at these parties. If you're not sharing your faith or evangelizing or witnessing to people there, you have no business being there.
Okay. What? Probably a very small percentage of Christians are evangelizing 24/7 everywhere they go. I mean, that's not realistic. This is a party, not a church.
And maybe he was doing that on a small scale, but it's
Hey, if it's a small scale, better than nothing.
likely that he wasn't doing it to a big scale because they continue to invite him
Strip
back.
club, or don't misconstrue my words. What I'm saying is someone has to be in environments where people congregate and you can get to know them and you can build relationships. You know what I'm saying? These were not like,
You can do that at a restaurant.
Okay, yeah, I hate this point. Yes, you could, but how are you going to get so many artists, to a restaurant? It doesn't happen. Nor will it. It just doesn't. It's better to go where the artists are, because then the connections do happen.
You can connect with these people and then get their number and invite them.
Yeah, this isn't AA or NA or any support group. This is the music industry, Isaiah. We're not all meeting at Perkins at 10 p.m. to discuss business. That just does not happen.
To a restaurant, invite them to sushi, invite them to coffee, and then share their faith with them and talk to them outside of a setting where there's men having sex on a couch at the party, or a cabana full of women having sex with men.
But he's not a part of that. He walked away from that stuff. He didn't partake in any of that. So I don't get what his point is here.
Right there at the party where you're at. That's not the right environment.
it's not just one.
Yeah, probably not the best environment, but be that as it may. I mean, it's a lot easier to go there to make connections with other artists in the industry than saying, oh, hey, let's all meet at Perkins at 10 p.m. and let's talk about God and business. Unfortunately, no one's going to show up.
Out and people hanging from the ceilings everywhere. It's
Jesus was not at parties where that was happening, I'm telling you right now.
really just people hanging around by the pool, talking, having conversations. Some people dancing, some people walking. Oh, what's up, Jimmy Iovine? What's up, Madonna? Chris Brown? How y'all doing? You talking. You have a whole conversation. You can share your whole testimony standing next to somebody by Jamie Foxx's pool.
And that does happen, where you're at these things and you do have an opportunity to share your testimony. I share my being delivered from alcoholism testimony all the time. Pretty much almost, anywhere I go in a social aspect, to where, people wonder why I'm not drinking, or why I'm sober, So that's another video for another time.
I'm saying,
Yeah, you can, but do you? That's the thing. And I'm not just talking about Lecrae, anybody. Are you sharing your testimony at these things? That's what we want to know.
again,
That's
it
what
wasn't
people are
one of those
curious about.
situations where it was crazy. And I've been to tons of these industry events, like tons of them. So it's, what do you want to get yourself into? What do you, if you want to?
I want to know your guys' thoughts. Maybe I'm being overly harsh.
I'm going to pause the video there. Like I said, I have a lot of respect for Isaiah. He's doing amazing things. I mean, he's casting demons out of people. His YouTube channel is very informative. Seriously, go watch his stuff. It is good. It is really, really good stuff. And I love how he's speaking to our generation. I truly do. But I think he's a little off on this one. That's just me. I mean, there's that verse in the Bible that says, I will fear no evil. So don't fear it. I mean, if you got the protection of God on you and the armor of God, I mean, you can go anywhere. I mean, it's all up to you. But that's just my take. I guess, being a Christian, coming from the music industry and still in it, to a smaller degree. But I just think someone had to speak out on this one, especially because this is a topic that I know a little bit too much on. And if you agree with Isaiah, that's perfectly fine. I mean, seriously, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, however you want to live your life, go about it. I just think there's that fine line of, do you want to be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good? Because if that's the case, the average person who isn't a Christian isn't going to want to have a conversation with you. So, those are just my 2 takes. I'm going to post the originals in below. I'm not going to do like what every other YouTuber says. Like, oh, hey, subscribe to the... And it's like, if you want to, cool. If not, no worries. I'm just really actually just doing this for fun. So, I hope you guys enjoyed my review. Like I said, both great guys. Yeah, I mean, a lot of my music's on Apple Music, Spotify. You can pretty much just find me anywhere. But all the links are on my website, which is ejanz.com. That's E as in Echo, my last name, JANZ.com. God bless and have a good night, everyone.